Good evening. I'm going to be talking about magnesium sulfate and the importance of it during pregnancy and what it is used for. The magnesium sulfate is going to it's going to prevent preterm labor. Okay, it's going to prevent preterm labor, and it is also going to prevent and treat seizures related to preeclampsia. Because the magnesium sulfate will decrease the blood pressure. It decreases the blood pressure as it relaxes the smooth muscle. Relaxes smooth muscle. And why does this just make sense? Because in preeclampsia, you're going to have an elevated blood pressure. So with taking magnesium sulfate, it's going to decrease the blood pressure. So it's going to help with that preeclampsia, and it's going to prevent preterm labor. Next, maintenance depends on two things. Well, maintenance depends on a few things, but the two things that are very critical for the nurse to assessment for magnesium sulfate includes assessing respirations, because the respirations will be shallow and depressed. The second thing that the nurse should be assessing on a client taking magnesium sulfate is DTR. What does that stand for? It stands for deep tendon reflexes. So, reflexes. Okay? So, those are two signs. So, decreased respirations and decreased deep tendon reflexes are two signs of magnesium toxicity. Mag-tox. Decreased respirations and decreased DTRs. Okay? So, continuing with that thought of being mag-toxic, you're going to have an antidote for this medication. So, can anybody guess the antidote for magnesium sulfate? It's going to be calcium gluconate. Calcium gluconate is the antidote to magnesium sulfate. So to wrap this up, magnesium sulfate has a use. What is the use of magnesium sulfate? It's going to prevent preterm labor. It decreases the blood pressure. By decreasing the blood pressure, it's going to prevent or treat seizures and preeclampsia, because in preeclampsia, you have high blood pressure. Secondly, there are two assessments that are important to magnesium sulfate. You want to assess the respirations, because magnesium toxicity will decrease your respirations. And deep tendon reflexes, DTRs, and mag toxicity, when you have an increase of the magnesium sulfate levels, then it's going to decrease respirations and decrease deep tendon reflexes. What is the antidote to magnesium sulfate? Calcium gluconate. I hope you guys learned something from this video. And if you have any questions, please let me know so I can be of better help for everybody.